What's going on, YouTube? My name is Zach with Android Digest, and one thing I completely understand is that my YouTube channel normally does not focus on litter boxes. It is not normally my area of expertise. It's not something that I exactly care a lot about. However, I do have a cat, and I was so sick and tired of my cat leaving poopy messes in the litter box all the time, and I hate having to clean it up. And maybe you could relate. So I wanted to make this video. It's not a sponsored video. It's not sponsored in any way by Whisker or Litter Robot, but I originally bought a Litter Robot 3, and now I have a Litter Robot 4. And I really wanted to tell you why I think this is a very, very good purchase for those of you who want to save money. Yes, this is a very expensive litter box, but it will actually save you some money and save you a lot of time if you really think about it and think about it closely. So with all that being said, today I'm going to review the Litter Robot 4 and tell you a lot about it. So let's get right into it and let's talk about it. So I want you to think about how many times you go down to the litter box. And this is how I had to justify my purchase of the Litter Robot 3 when I bought it. And it's the same way with the Litter Robot 4. I know it's a very expensive litter box, but think about time, right? Time is worth money. Think about how much money you could make in that 10 minutes that you would spend at the litter box. So a lot of us spend between 5 and 10 minutes a day. And I want you to do the math there, right? Think about 10 minutes a day by 365 days a year. That is 3,650 minutes of time. You're looking at 60.8 hours. Now, if you work a minimum wage job, let's just say you make a very poor wage and you work for $11 an hour, that is $669. So if you could save yourself at least most of that time, you would make all of your money back in 1 year if you factor in how much your time is worth. And to be honest, I think a lot of you are worth a little more than minimum wage. So this is where the Litter Robot really starts to make sense. If you could save yourself enough time, and if you could save yourself a little bit of money, it may be worth it for you. Now, the other reason why you might consider a litter robot is because it actually helps you out on litter cost. So a lot of you, whenever your cat goes to the bathroom, you let it sit, right? And it sits all day and your litter clumps up all day. And the longer you let that litter sit, the more litter that's going to clump up in that ball. But you could save litter if your litter robot or your litter box, if it actually sifted itself every 5 or 10 minutes that a cat went to the bathroom. And that's what the Litter Robot is about. So what it's about, for one, is saving you on time. It's also about saving you from having to deal with the litter box. And it's about saving you a little bit of money on litter. So with this Litter Robot, what you do is you just get it set up, for one, and I'm not going to walk through that setup process, but it's pretty easy to set up through the Litter Robot app. Once you set up the Litter Robot, you just put your litter in there, and whenever your cat goes to the bathroom, it's going to sense that your cat walked through. It's going to have a little sensor there that senses that, and the light on the Litter Robot is going to turn red. And once it turns red, it's letting you know, hey, we are going to sift this litter in, like, I think it's around 5 to 10 minutes, right? So it's going to sift out the litter, the bad litter. The Litter Robot is going to turn. And as it turns, it's going to take all the small pieces of litter and it's going to funnel it into a safe zone. And then all the bad litter is going to go down to a trash can in the bottom of the litter box. And then it's going to sift back and all the good litter is going to remain. So you're not going to have to clean out your litter as often, for one. You're not going to have to dump out all your litter every week or every 2 weeks even, because a lot of that good litter is going to stay there for a very long time. On top of that, you're going to save on litter costs because it's not going to stay there all day and clump up. And it's also a lot more sanitary to use a litter box like this because it takes care of all that nastiness, right? And it takes care of it for you, sifts it into a trash area. And normally, in my experience, it takes about a week for that area to fill up. And you'll get a notification on your phone when it does. So that's the simplicity of what this Litter Robot does. You could also, on your phone, it will track the weight of your cat. it will give you a rough weight, right? So I'm not guaranteeing that it will be perfectly accurate, but you'll get a good weight of your cat. You'll be able to tell how your cat's going to the bathroom and not. And again, you will save a lot of time. So this might seem like a little bit of an infomercial or something, and it's really not, because I was once a litter robot customer like you who was deciding if I should buy a litter robot or not. And I bought the Litter Robot 3, and it was great. But that litter robot, it didn't have Wi-Fi for one. So they did update it later to have Wi-Fi, so you would have to buy a separate version, a Litter Robot 3 with Wi-Fi. But I had the version without Wi-Fi. And it was good and all, but it really was struggling to sense my cat walking in because my cat was not very heavy. I had like a 5-pound black cat that has passed away since then, but that cat, it was just not registering. So I would still have to walk downstairs and press that button once a day. But I was still so happy with it because it saved me 5 or 10 minutes of digging through nasty litter and putting it in a trash can and all that stuff, right? So even then I was saving time and I was still in love with the Litter Robot 3. It did a terrific job. And when I had an issue with it, the customer service was so great, they actually took care of me even when I was out of warranty on that device. Now, fast forward to now, I asked to work with this whisker company because I was so impressed with the Litter Robot 3. I asked for them to send this Litter Robot 4 to me, and I've been very impressed with the upgrades that the Litter Robot 4 provides. And since I've been using the Litter Robot 4, I've been very impressed with it overall, even with how it senses my cat. So if you just stick your hand in the litter robot, it's going to sense that something went into the litter box. So it isn't really as much about weight anymore. It actually even just senses movement, which is a really cool thing. I'm just impressed with it. I love the Wi-Fi features that it provides. So this is a much better device or a much better litter box. It's much better and more refined than the Litter Robot 3. Now it is very expensive. Again, $650 is nothing to laugh at, right? But neither is 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day or even 5 minutes a day, it really adds up. And I think a lot of you will make up that extra time or the money you're spending, you'll make that up in time, right? As you get 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day back, that will significantly help you over your life. Now you do still have to, whenever the trash is full, you have to open up the bottom and you actually have to change out the trash. There are these little filters there that try to help it smell a little bit less, and they recommend you change those out every few weeks. But if you're like me, I put mine in the basement, so it's not really something I'm gonna smell all that often. So I don't really change out those filters very often. But I was impressed, the bottom tray, it's very improved over the Litter Robot 3, because before I had to stick the trash bag in certain places and sometimes some nasty litter would get on those places. So when I dig out the trash bag, I would actually get my hands a little bit dirty. But now the way they have it set up, it's a lot easier to pull out the trash bag. So there's small improvements again overall between the Litter Robot 3 and the Litter Robot 4. So I've been very impressed with this litter box. I can't say that enough. Now there have been a couple very minor flaws. If you do use a litter from Amazon, for example, like I use, the litter that I use is a little bit heavier, and the Litter Robot 4, it hasn't handled it quite as well as the Litter Robot 3. So typically I have to put a little bit less litter. There's like a line around the litter box that you're supposed to fill litter to. I have to normally fill it a little bit under the line to make sure that there's not any errors or things like that. So that's the only minor thing that I've had to deal with. It's just some minor error messages if I did fill the litter a little bit too high. But outside of that minor issue, I've really had no issues with this litter box, and it's just something I wanted to talk about even for a few minutes for those of you out there who are considering going into this area of tech. Sometimes tech is actually about saving you time. And if it saves you time, you could use that time on something else and you could use it to make money. So I expect this litter box might last you like 3 or 4 years. And if you buy this in 3 or 4 or 5 years, I'm telling you, you are gonna save a whole lot of time and it will be well worth the money. If you can afford it, right? Never go into debt to buy something that you can't afford. But whenever you save up a little bit of money, if you want to really just stop with the poopy messes, this is something that I would highly recommend considering. So hopefully you have enjoyed this video. I wish I had a lot better B-roll and shiny video in the background, but I do keep my litter box in the basement. It's just how it is. I actually set it up at nighttime originally, so it's not the best shots in the world, but I still wanted to give you all the video I had to show you how this works, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions about using something like this. It's very expensive, it's odd tech, and I normally won't talk about tech like this again, but I still wanted to give you a really cool video to show off a really cool piece of technology. So give this video a like if you like it. Give me a sub if you want to sub to my channel, because I talk a lot about Android phones and Android tablets on this channel primarily. So have a great day, enjoy your week, and hopefully you spend a little less time down at the litter box in this upcoming year. Have a good one.